Hello everyone, I'm Anth Predicts, and today I'm bringing an updated look at the 2020 Senate map and how I think going into it. And remember, take into account, this is coming after the news that President Trump is getting impeached, or maybe getting impeached, we'll see what happens, but this news is coming after that. So, as usual, I'm going to start on the West Coast and make my way east. Oregon, I think, is safe right now. I don't think it's going to be close like it was in the midterms. Idaho, I think, is going to go Republican, pretty safe. Wyoming, the same. Montana, right now, I'm going to put it as safe, but that could change if Steve Bullock does decide to drop out and run for the Senate seat instead. Similar to Colorado. Colorado, we're going to come back to. New Mexico, for now, I'm going to put that in the safe column. I don't really see that being too contested. Alaska, that's going to be safe. Excuse me, that keeps moving. South Dakota, Nebraska, and Oklahoma are going to be safe. Kansas, if Chris Kobach's a nominee, it will get closer, but I still think Kansas is going to be safe for now. Texas I'll come back to. Arkansas and Louisiana, those are safe. Mississippi, I'm going to put in the safe column. I don't really see it getting that contested again. Alabama I'll come back to. South Carolina will be safe. Tennessee will be safe. Kentucky, no, I'll come back to that. West Virginia will be safe. Illinois will be safe for the Democrats. Delaware will be safe. New Jersey will be safe. Rhode Island and Massachusetts will be safe. And New Hampshire and Maine I'll come back to. Alright, so I think there will be at least 45 Republican seats and at the very least 42 Democrat seats. So, Texas, I think, is going to be likely safer right now. I think President Trump will probably overperform in Texas than John Cornyn will. I think, yeah, that's going to be likely. Alabama, I think it's going to be a likely Republican state. I don't really see Doug Jones doing good again. I don't think the nominee is going to be Roy Moore. I think it's going to be Tommy Tuberville, the former Auburn football coach. And I feel like Auburn football coach in Alabama, I mean, he's probably going to win. And Kentucky, I'm also going to put Kentucky in the likely Republican margin. I know a lot of people are saying Amy McGrath can beat Mitch McConnell. I'm not seeing it yet. He was more unpopular back in 2014, and he managed to win by a pretty big margin. The margin may be smaller this time, but I think he's got that no problem. Iowa, Joni Ernst, she's probably going to win. She's pretty popular. I don't really see much of a chance of a Democrat winning there. Virginia, I think Virginia will go in Mark Warner's column. Ed Gillespie did almost win it back in 2014 against Mark Warner, but that was under Obama presidency in an anti-Obama midterm. This is a presidential election, so it's going to be a little bit different turnout. Minnesota, for right now, I'd put in the likely column. Minnesota could get close with John Lewis running. He's pretty much like Minnesota's version of Trump, but we haven't really seen any polling or data showing that race to be close, so I'm not going to say it's going to be there yet. This is going to be maybe a surprise. Maine, I think, is going to be a likely Republican state. Everyone's saying Maine's going to be so close, and Susan Collins so unwell liked. Her numbers in Maine really haven't changed. The people who put money into Maine, none of them actually live in Maine. So I think Susan Collins is going to win, much by a smaller margin than last time, no doubt. But I think she's still going to win. I don't think the Kavanaugh thing's going to affect her too much. Okay, so these are the remaining seats. Republicans, if President Trump is reelected, do have the majority. If not, then it's still up for grabs. So let's start Colorado. I put Colorado in the lean margin right now. I think Cory Gardner is going to have a very hard time holding on to the seat, and then John Hickenlooper announced he was going to run, so it's pretty much already almost impossible he's going to win it. I'm putting it in a lean margin because I think Gardner will overperform President Trump. Gardner's a very good campaigner, one of the best the Republicans have, but it's going to be tough for him to hold on in a state that's going more and more blue with President Trump on the ticket. It's going to be hard for him to win. So this doesn't account for both Georgia's seats, but it doesn't matter. I think both Georgia's seats are going to be lean in the Republican column, so it would still be 51. So, yeah, both seats are going to go red. Jon Ossoff is running against David Perdue on the Democratic side and not for the open seat, which I think is very stupid. I think if he wanted to win, he should run for the open seat. He'd have a better chance of winning. But both seats in the lean Republican column right now, and I think that's how it is in Georgia. North Carolina right now, I'd put barely in the lean margin. I put it closer to tilt than likely, but in the lean margin. Tom Tillis, moderately well liked. It's interesting to see what will happen in the primary. There's a very pro-Trump candidate running the primary. We'll see what happens there. That could definitely change things, the outcome of it. In the final lean state, New Hampshire, for now, I'm putting New Hampshire in the lean column. I think New Hampshire is going to get very close. If Corey Lewandowski does run, a lot of people are writing him off instantly. I think that's going to be very close. because a lot of the Republicans there that are running are establishment-like who will appeal both sides. But in New Hampshire, I feel like to take on a popular Democrat like Jeanne Shaheen, who is very popular statewide, you really need to like do what Corey's done and be very brash and very in your face, kind of like how Trump is. And kind of like how Chris Christie was in 2016, the primaries before Trump announced he was the leading vote getter because they like that right in your face style. So I think if Corey Lewandowski runs, it can get a lot closer, possibly in the tilt margins. But for now, I'm putting in the lean margins, and we're still waiting to see what's going to happen. So right now we have 52 Republicans, 46 Democrats. Republicans hold on to the majority. Arizona right now, I think Martha McSally is going to narrowly hold on. My reasoning for this is that this time she'll be running on the same ticket with President Trump, and he'll probably carry her over the finish line, and he'll perform better in Maricopa County than she will. And plus, I feel like the Republican enthusiasm is going to be a lot better than in the midterms because the midterms didn't really mean much. President Trump was still going to be president, but now the election has a lot something to more go out to vote for and to mean. So I think Arizona's going to go. And Michigan, this is going to be the closest call. I actually think John James is going to win. I think it's going to be a very, very close margin. I do think John James is going to win. Gary Peters, not a lot of people know about him. Very unpopular. And John James is one of the best rising star candidates the Republican have. And I think having already run against Debbie Stabenow and overperformed when she's a very popular incumbent, I think that's going to give him a very good chance of re-election. Or getting elected, excuse me. So that's, I think, the final numbers. Republicans are going to gain one seat, that being 54 to the Democrats 46. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you liked the video. And if you disliked, please leave a comment below telling me why. Or also if you liked it, leave a comment below. I'll see you in the next video.